gotta say the first time was when I might have been 7 years old, and we had just moved from Vancouver to Calgary, and we were at a family Christmas gathering, and my Aunt Edith, she had an electric guitar on her lap, and she was, playing some songs. That family always entertained at family events, and I really wanted to try it out. So she sat me on her lap, then sat the guitar on my knee, and she chorded with her left hand while I strummed. And that was my first thing, and it lit the fire, that's for sure. Well, I kind of got into it in high school. We were taking electronics, and part of that was repairing old equipment. People had brought all sorts of stuff into the high school and left it for the students to tinker with. And my teacher helped me diagnose a problem and repair it, and I was just elated. But after high school, tubes, no, that's going away, and I abandoned it for well over a quarter of a century. I got back into it. I did a lot of navel gazing and led me to this. And so I started repairing and building and designing, and it just kind of took off. I would assume that it was more what our ears learned as children, because we listened to records and listened to stereos, and they were using a particular technology, and that kind of imprints on us, and that's what we quote unquote like. It doesn't make it better, it's just that's what we prefer. And I think that, in the 70s and 80s, I mean, all of those really good rock albums that everybody listened to, and everything blues was always done on tubes. So that imprinted on my generation, and I think that's why that preference was always there. And at the time, remember in the late 70s and early 80s, the solid state gear just wasn't able to deliver the tone. So that kind of kept tubes in the game. And they got orphaned by a lot of companies, but in the last, say, 20 years, a lot of tube designs that had been orphaned have been brought back into production. So there's growth there, not just in hi-fi, but in guitars. Yeah, the Musette, it's the little combo here, that's the prototype for it. It also happens to be the one I've sold the most of, but it's a nice little studio amp with reverb. It's lovely. You plug any guitar into it, and you can adjust the amp, of course. It doesn't just make one sound. And a lot of guys use these in studios. Well, in regards to what I do with all of this, I would have got into it earlier. I mean, I should have got into it at least 10 years. I kind of got back to tubes and stuff in '06. I should have done it 10 years earlier, maybe 15, definitely. Simplify life, outside of this discussion. Simplify life, find your thing. As the character Curly says in City Slickers, that one thing, whatever it is for you, go find it and do it with all your might. And I should have done that. I was trying to do too many things at once.